In this video, I'm going to show you how we can use set controls for dynamically allowing a user to add members or take members away from a set. So in this example, I'm going to create a again, I'm going to continue using the state dimension. And so I'm going to go to the drop-down menu and click Create a Set. In this case, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to check Alabama. It's completely arbitrary. That's the first one there, so that's why I selected that. I'm going to double-click on State. Again, I now have a state map, which is what I want. Then I'm going to take this. I'm not going to worry about renaming it. It's just called state set 2. Maybe I should. It's hard to say that. And you can see Alabama is in. Everything else is out. I'm going to go ahead and make those dots. That's too big. A little bit bigger, right? So we could clearly see. Maybe that's right. We could clearly see the states that are in and the states that are out. Now what I want to show you is I can go to this set that I created, and if I go to the drop down menu, I could choose Show Set. And because this is based on the state dimension, there's a list of all the states, and Alabama has a check mark next to it because it's in the state. Now what I want to do is show you, as I click on different states in this checkbox, then I am going through, and you can see more states are being included in the set and out of the set. If I want to remove Oregon from this step, I just uncheck Oregon. If I want to remove North Carolina, I uncheck North Carolina. If I want to add Kentucky, I could add Kentucky. If I want to add Iowa, I could add Iowa. So I am dynamically, right, this is a dynamic set, using this control, determining who's in the set and who is out of the set. Now remember, you could make this a little bit cleaner. I could change this to a drop down so it's not taking up so much space. And what I want to do actually is I'm going to uncheck everything. So I'm going to end up with a completely empty set. In a second. Who else do I have there? South Dakota. And if you recall, we created a set earlier for Gulf Coast states, and we did it by creating a fixed set for Gulf Coast states. But I'm going to do the same thing, but now build it dynamically. So I'm going to choose Texas. I'm going to choose Louisiana. I'm going to choose Mississippi, I'm going to choose Alabama, and I'm going to choose Florida. So in essence, state set 2 is now the same as Gulf Coast states. I've just created this set, what's in, the Gulf Coast states, what's out, everybody else. And I'm going to recreate what we did earlier, right? I'm going to use state set 2 in my rows. There's my in and my out. And I'm going to show the states that are in and show the states that are out. And I believe I was showing sales. And this is basically a duplication of what we did when we were creating a fixed state. But now, as a result of this being based on a dynamic filter, I could say go ahead and show set, and I'll just leave it like this. You can see that, let's say I want to go, all right, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana are the states that border the Gulf Coast, but it looks like Georgia is also going to be hit by this impending hurricane. So I could click Georgia. And now in the in group, I have Georgia. And again, let's go ahead and kind of throw our subtotals in there again, right? We could see what, obviously, as we add states, we could see what is happening. And if I want to add, let's say it looks like South Carolina. And so let's say that it looks like South Carolina and North Carolina might also be impacted. So if I could spell, I could add South Carolina, North Carolina, and I could add South Carolina. And so now this group is instead a group of likely states likely impacted by a hurricane or storm or whatever it might be. And clearly the subtotal of the sales, depending on what's in the in group compared to what's in the out group, is obviously being adjusted. If I want to take these states out, let's take out North Carolina, let's take out South Carolina, let's take out Georgia. We're now back to where we were. So this is an example of using set control.